Hi everybody. Today what I want to talk about in the real estate world is something that I love to do, and that is shopping. That's right, shopping for a new home. Who doesn't love to do that, right? Well, what I wanted to talk about was how to do that in a smart way. I know a lot of friends, family, and other people that have told me a little bit about the processes that they went through shopping or looking for a home to buy, and everything's done wrong or backwards, and they just have all these nightmare stories. So what I want to do is take the time to talk a little bit about how to do things the smart way, how to actually find the home of your dreams and lock it down and buy it, and not only buy it, but buy it for a good price. Okay? So first off, what I want to talk about was, if you're not using a real estate agent or realtor in your area, you're making a big mistake. Now, I know a lot of people aren't very sure or don't really know how it works when you're using a real estate agent. They start thinking about, oh, it's expensive, they make lots of money, and all these different things like that. But to clear that up, how it really works is, if you're a buyer, it doesn't cost you anything to use a real estate agent. Nothing. So you might be asking yourself, well then, how does a real estate agent make their money? Well, now the way it works is, when you're selling your home, right, you technically have two agents that you're paying for when you're selling that home. So you have the initial agent that's representing the seller to sell that home. That's agent one, that's going to get paid. And the second agent is floating out here. There's lots of us, and we are representing you, the buyer. We bring you, the buyer, to the property. When we close escrow on that property, those are the two agents that are getting paid by the seller. So if you're selling your home, you're technically paying for two real estate agents. And if you're buying a home, you're not paying for anything, right? So that's awesome. So you're making a big mistake, first of all, if you're not using a real estate agent, because after all, they know the contracts, they should know the market. If they don't, call me. I know the contracts, I know the market, and overall it's just going to be a better experience. So that's my first tip for you guys out there. Secondly is how to start getting your loan situated, right? Because everyone, the first thing they do is they want to go start looking for the home. That's the funnest part. That's the most exciting part. They want to start shopping. But this is where you get yourself into trouble. If you don't have a loan situated yet, and you start shopping for a home and you find the home you like, well, you go to place an offer and you really can't, because you have no proof that you can even get a loan on that price. Second, you don't even know what size loan you can afford, or any of the financial details. You just don't know it. So the next step you want to take is, you want to get linked up with either a bank or a private mortgage broker. Now, that's the benefit of using a good real estate agent or a realtor, is they will have, or they should have, a good connection with a private mortgage broker. Now, what a private mortgage broker is they are like the middleman, technically, between you, the buyer, and me, the agent. We're now a team. Then you have the mortgage broker in the middle, and what they're doing is they're taking your financial documents and shopping it around with different lenders or people willing to actually lend you the money. So the mortgage broker's main job is to find you the best rate, find you the best deal. They're going to shop all over the place until they get you the best deal, right? So that's much better than you walking into some big bank and just being another random person in line asking to get a loan, and it's very, black or white as far as what you qualify for. When you're using a mortgage broker, they can work all kinds of magic on getting your loan approved, which is a huge benefit. Not only that, but the real estate agent typically is going to have a really good connection. They're going to be on the phone with each other a lot. They already know each other. They trust each other. So when you do get into escrow, it's going to move much faster, much smoother, rather than the agent, or even if you don't have an agent, even a worse case, just the regular old buyer trying to get on the phone with the lender and the bank, and they're trying to figure out what's going on, and the whole process doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So it goes much smoother if you, one, have an agent representing you, and two, have a private mortgage broker representing you. It's just a much better process. So now that we have the private mortgage broker linked up, what documents do we need to give to them to start the loan process? So to keep it basic, it's the 2-2-2 rule. That makes it easy for a lot of people to remember. 2-2-2. So 2 years of your most current W-2s and or tax returns, your last 2 most current months of your pay stubs that you're getting from work, and your 2 most current bank statements. Now, what I mean by your bank statements is pretty much an overview on all of your banking accounts that you have. So that's your checking account, your savings account, if you have any other accounts. Pretty much what the lender's going to want to see is what kind of activity do you have going on all those accounts. So your last 2 months will pretty much give the lender a good idea of what's going on, the money coming in, the money coming out. And also, if you're purchasing the loan or purchasing the house with a loan with either a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a wife or a husband or whoever it may be, maybe it's a friend. Now the 2 of you, or in some cases the 3 of you, need to submit all of those documents, right? So now it's not only just coming from one person, but each person along the line has to dig up those documents and submit that. Okay, so now that we have those documents put together, we give that over to the mortgage broker, and what they're going to do is one of 3 things that we request for them to do. So we either need a pre-qualification letter, or we want a pre-approval letter, or a DU approval letter. Now the difference between the 3 is the pre-qual letter is pretty much, you telling the private mortgage broker, hey, yeah, my credit's good, my financial situation's solid, and I want to buy a home. Okay, that sounds good. Boom, signs off, we have a letter. It's not very good proof, right? So when we submit that with the offer, when we do find the home we want to buy, it's a little sketchy, especially if I was the one selling the house and I was the agent and all I saw was a pre-qual letter come in. I'd say, I need a little bit more proof. So what we do on the buyer's end is just be over-prepared. So we would go ahead, and what I do is get the pre-approval letter at least, or DU approval. So the pre-approval letter, what that is now your financial documents have actually physically been given to the mortgage broker to sift through all of it and verify that what you say is true, puts all your numbers together, and pretty much lets us know what size loan you qualify for, what kind of interest rate you're going to get, what your monthly payment's going to be, and all these different things. So it starts to give you a very good idea of what your loan's going to look like. And then lastly, the DU approval is pretty much just one step further. It's all those documents being inputted into a computer software that pretty much runs all the numbers and gives out a more official approval or denial. Hopefully it's not a denial, but an approval. And then we're pretty much giving a form that says that your financial situation has been gone through, everything looks good, and this is what you're approved for, right? So all of that needs to be done before we even look at a home. So that stuff takes time. So that's where most people make their mistake right off the bat, is they skipped all of that and went straight to shopping for the home. But the good news is, now that we have all that done, we do go searching and looking for homes now, the fun part. So we're driving, we're looking at all the different homes. We see that one and we see that one, and we're checking them out, and we're going inside, and we're finding the best place for you, right? So we've located the home that you want. Now what we're going to do is we're going to write an offer. Now that's kind of what separates a good agent from a bad agent when they're representing you. Is there's lots of ways to write an offer. It's not always just about how much money you're going to give the seller. There's a lot of different things that really dictate if your offer is going to get accepted or not. So a good agent is going to put together a nice buyer's package to give to the seller that really just shows why you're going to be a solid buyer. Your financial background's been gone through. It's strong, it's sturdy. They don't need to worry about that. You have your proof of funds that we've given to them, showing the seller that the money we need for the down payment is in your bank account, sitting there ready to be transferred into escrow. And that's pretty much what it is. So a good real estate agent is going to be able to put all that together for you. And if they're not, I will do that for you again. Give me a call. I'm going to help you out. So that's pretty much the steps that you're going to take. You submit that offer. You pray your offer gets accepted. If it does get accepted, woo, that's great news. But it's not over yet. You now move into escrow. Now, a lot of people don't know what escrow is, what it's about, how it works. It's actually very simple. Escrow, what it is in simple terms, is it's a third party that's going to hold all of the contracts that are being signed. And boy, let me tell you, there's a lot of contracts these days that are going to be signed. So they're watching over all those contracts, making sure those are all getting done, and they're holding all the money. Now, there's big, large amounts of money that are going to be transferred back and forth, and a lot of important things happening. So the escrow company pretty much is just going to oversee that entire process, making sure everything's fair and safe and everything goes well, right? So escrow periods can be anywhere from 3 or 5 days if you're a cash buyer, or up to 45, 60, 90 days, or even longer. Hopefully not. But a good agent's typically going to get it around 30 to 45 days maximum is what your escrow period is going to look like. And there's quite a few things that go on during escrow. There's timelines that have to be met. I'm going to be making a video coming up soon that talks a little bit more about what exactly escrow is, but just for today's sake, that's pretty much what escrow is, what I just mentioned. So if you make it successfully all the way through escrow, and escrow closes, and all that means when escrow closes is that the deed or the title of the property you're buying is now officially transferred into your name, and it's recorded with the county. When that happens, escrow closes, the keys are handed over to you, you get your new house and your new mortgage payment, and you live happily ever after. So that's the process that you should take from start to end if you're a smart buyer. If you're not using an agent, make sure you get one. And if you guys have any questions other than that, feel free to either call me or text me or email me or reach out on social media. I'm pretty much available anywhere, everywhere, 24/7. I'm here to help. And other than that, I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a great day. Bye.